Alright, there's quite a lot of background to today's battle report, so I'm just going to get stuck straight into it. The first photo is, of course, me hanging out at the gaming club, being a nerd. You can see everybody else in the background. I don't usually take pics like this, but I just thought I'd chuck it in there. Today's game is High Elves versus Orcs and Goblins, and my opponent for this game is the guy that I played before. We played Tomb Kings versus Tomb Kings quite a while ago. Now, his Orc and Goblin army has been featured in various photos that you've seen on my page in the recent times. We've already played 2 games so far, High Elves versus Orcs and Goblins, and he won the first game due to some extraordinary luck, and I had to concede victory to him in the second turn even. And in the second game, luck went my way a bit more, and I managed to dismantle him over 6 turns very well. So it's tied 1 apiece, and this is our third game in the best of 3. But it's a bit different for this third game because we're both participating in a little league going on at this particular club. You can see in the background where we're all practicing for a tournament coming up in a couple of months' time, and the league we're doing is just basically a miniature tournament involving all of these players. Now, this is the second round of the tournament, so it's me versus this guy that I've already had 2 games against, so it's kind of like a very important match for the two of us to get done. Next photo, you can see, let's have a look. My deployment here, I've actually joined the Dragon Princess with the Archmage there, just so that she'll be in range for her spells and won't obviously suffer too much against enemy spells, I hope, in shooting and so forth. And everything else is spread out. You've got the white lions and the archers in the wood and the bolt throwers in the middle there with the other chariots and so forth in the background. Next photo shows you the other side of the battlefield. I've gone for the Lure of Beasts, and I've got the silver one, so luckily I haven't rolled a 1, or I haven't rolled a 4 for missing out on Beast Cowers. This is an Orcs and Goblins army that features a Savage Orc war boss on a wyvern with the kick and boots and Shaga's weapon there, which gives him a multitude of devastation in close combat, but more about that later. On the left-hand side hill, you've got the archers and obviously the chariots just hanging back in the middle so they can go either way and fend off whatever comes their way in the first couple of turns. Next picture shows you the wyvern himself. Now, he's frenzied. That's why he's hiding behind the hill. Gives him the option of just flying out later and then charging when the opportunity arises. But as you can see, this is a very well-painted Orc and Goblin army. Very nice-looking stuff. And you can see sort of the wolves and goblins was arrow boys in the hill. Everything else is in the center. Going to go to the next photo so you can see a better view of what this army looks like. We've got 2 big units of orc boys in the middle with choppers and shields. I think one of those groups might have double choppers, can't quite remember, but there's a unit of black orcs as well. My opponent just placing his orc shaman, level 2 shaman, in the middle of this unit as well. He's got a big BSB, which you can't see obscured by his hand. And the other flank, he's got the forest goblins, the squig hoppers, the pump wagon, giant. Just going to go to the next photos, you can see this in much more detail. You guys will notice that this giant model is not a GW model, it's from Privateer Press, and it looks very cool. But yes, that little squig-drawn cart is meant to be a snotling pump wagon, and he's got some more arrow boys over here. So really good-looking army, and I decided to do a battle report because it's going to be a very good-looking game, and of course it's quite an important grudge of a game, and in full competition with the tournament, a miniature tournament anyway, going on right now. So next turn, next photo, my opponent wins the roll to choose whether to go first or second. He's decided to go first, but rolls Animosity and rolls a 1 for the arrow boys, so that actually blocks the giant having to move around the forest, so that cripples him for a couple of turns, which is a bit of a misstep there, but you know, wasn't expecting the arrow boys to roll a 1 anyway, so it was just a bit of a shame. But everything else full speed ahead through the middle there, going in full face of fire from the archers, and the chariots, of course, coming my way. So next photo, things fanning out on the other side of the battlefield, a bit of an overview shot here, moving the wolf boys in to get in the way of me moving around, and chariots hanging back so that they can charge anything within the 18-inch range, of course, and doing their nasty business. Next photo, just sort of showing you the responding High Elf turn 1. The Archmage leaves the Dragon Prince unit and joins the archers in the forest. Now that's a long string of 10 archers. I just wasn't able to place them correctly, otherwise they would tip over. So that little skirmishing bunch of armors that looks like the archers, which looks like they're in a different formation there, they're actually meant to be in a line from where you draw the Archmage and the little tray-mounted unit of 4 archers over the hill. I'm sure you guys can work out what I'm talking about, but I've still got the BSB and the Noble in the main unit of Dragon Princess and the Hammer unit in the flank. Next photo, the eagles flap forward, and 1 eagle lands in this little doormat-like terrain piece we've got here, which is meant to be a set of difficult terrain. So that keeps it safe from the chariots and allows it to charge the spear chuck in the future. And the other eagle is just getting ready to march block the orcs in a future turn with the forest goblin spider riders just hanging out there waiting for an opportunity to do something, getting in the way, no doubt. Next picture, what happens here? The orcs move forward, surging forward now, and I've got Beast Cowers cast successfully on the Wyvern, thank God, and the mages just getting blasting away there with spells. Now, the orcs just surging forward in the middle, as you can see. Only one unit is march blocked, I believe, so he's still making some progress, and everything else moving on the wrong. I've done some shooting and killed the forest goblin spider riders, except for the one remaining member of that particular unit who's just deciding to make a nuisance of himself in the meantime. Next photo, the squig hoppers move forward, but their apartment wagon has been shot to bits by archers, and other sorts of shooting has been destroyed. The giant has now moved out of the woods, so it is ready to rumble, and the arrow boy is just moving in range of the archers to shoot them on the hill there. Righty, next photo, the responding high elf turn, the chariots just scream across the battlefield and smack straight into the squig hoppers, which will no doubt trash them if impact hits go according to plan. And in the background there, the eagle has flown over to march block all three of those big blocks of orcs, so looking good there. I've lost an archer too to return fire from something like a spear chucker or arrow boys, something like that. Next photo, the other eagle charges the eagle charges the spear chuckers, but they do a wound on it, and the eagle doesn't actually kill any of the crew, so he's beaten me back, and the eagle fails its break check and flees, so that was an epic fail there, unfortunately. Next photo, let me explain what happened here. The chariots trash the squig hoppers and overrun, and the arrow boys flee from the overrun and go off the table. And then what happens in response to that is the mauler,